Greetings, Mechwarriors. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is TTV speaking, and welcome back to some news about Mechwarrior Online. Now, I have chosen to forgo today's episode of German Mechengineering for sharing this update with you because I feel it's important enough to talk about it and kind of share my 2 pence on what I think is going on and what to expect from the future. So, Russ was on NGNG's live stream for the developer update. Basically 1 day ago, and they shared some interesting information bits about what's currently going on with MWO, what their plans are for MWO, some stuff about MW5, and then also some more information about MechCon and the MWO World Championships. So, let's get right into it. People weren't happy. That I think that much can be said. But I think we need to look at this in a little bit more diversified way. I'm going to link you this Reddit post, by the way, in the video description down below, so you can read through that on your own time if you want to. Let's take it apart bit by bit in terms of theme blocks. So first and foremost, most important to me, MWO. What's going to happen with MWO? They stated that they will be selling less mech packs moving forward. They said that mech packs aren't really generating revenue anymore for them and haven't been for the past few months, or up to a year basically. And so they announced that they won't be making as many mech packs moving forward, which I think is a good thing, because honestly, guys, having to buy a new mech pack every month and having a new mech come out every month, it was a lot for us players. It was definitely a lot for the team at PGI to keep designing the stuff. And it's also very hard to balance all of that together with the existing mechs already that are not properly balanced as of yet. So, yeah, I think it's the only choice that PGI could make at this point in time to lower down the amount of mechs they actually make and spend a little bit more time on that. However, what they also said is that MWO by itself, that's an important point, is not doing enough to sustain a company of PGI's size at this point in time. Since they have hired a lot of people for MW5, since there has been a lot of development on MW5, of course, MWO itself is not going to carry that company anymore, and a lot of the success of PGI is going to sit on MW5. So what I was sharing in private discussions, for example, with the guys at the First Circuit podcast for over a year, is that I always felt that MWO, since MW5 went into development, was a little bit of a kind of maintenance mode. Yes, we got new mech packs with the intent of generating revenue, and there's nothing wrong with that. PGI as a company, they've got people to pay, they've got license fees to pay, they've need to make money, right? And if we're playing the game and having fun in the game, then they deserve to make money, period. I mean, you might have a different view if you're a commie. That was a joke. By the way, guys, quick disclaimer: everything I'm saying is my personal opinion. You may have a different opinion, and that is perfectly fine. So let's just take everybody's opinions with a grain of salt, and let's also all be very clear that this is all just the information that we have. We don't know 100% what's going on behind closed doors, and I'm sure there's not everything out there that Russ was able to share with us. But at least he was sharing some things, and he came across, in my opinion, relatively genuinely, as opposed to what he was, how he might have seemed a few years ago. So I think that's an added bonus and a move in the right direction. Now, he was honest, he was sharing his visions, but yeah, long story short, for MWO, the TLDR is MWO currently is in maintenance mode. It's gonna receive an update or further updates on faction warfare. Let's talk about it in a second. But for all intents and purposes, it is in maintenance mode. That means there won't be any huge additions, and aside from a few mech packs here and there and a little bit of balancing, there won't be much invested into the game anymore. Now, MWO has been around for a long time, and it fills a very unique niche, and there is no other game out there that could fill that niche. And don't talk about Mechwarrior Living Legends, it just doesn't fill that niche. My opinion. So, it's nice that we're finally clear on this issue. And now we know what to expect moving forward. Does that mean that we will all stop playing MWO? Hell no. I won't. I hope you guys won't, because it's still a fun game, and it's always been a diamond in the rough. And PGI has made some good decisions in the past. PGI has also made some very bad decisions in the past as a company. Hey, that's all right. We all know that PGI is a smaller size developer and that they do make mistakes. But on the plus side, I believe them when they state that they have a huge amount of passion for the game. The little evil monkey in my ear wants to say that passion is not enough to make a good product, but it is something important, I find, for a small and dedicated community to have a developer that has that kind of passion for the game, even if they keep on fumbling here and there. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Okay. Still, I've got well over 2,000 hours in the game. I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of it, and I've spent a lot of money in MWO. And I still have fun in it. Yeah, we're gonna have some salt raining, whatever. We're gonna have some issues. The engine is shit, yada yada yada. All the problems aside, me personally, I'm still having fun with it, and I'm gonna play this game until at some point the servers go down forever. So that's my personal take on that. On faction warfare, one issue that I had, PGI is committed to keeping the updates coming for faction warfare and revamping that. They acknowledged that the patch was pretty rough. They said that they communicate the feature robustly on the forums, and so on and so on and so on. We want to get it to a state where everybody's happy with it. Yeah, okay, fine by me. For the people that like faction play, sure. I just disagree with one statement, and that is that they had incredibly positive feedback on story mode and matchmaking for faction play since they pushed out the patch. I'm getting a lot of comments from you guys through Discord, through the streams, through the YouTube comments, and I didn't hear much positive feedback. I heard very critical feedback. So I don't know. I'm not the right person to talk about this because I personally don't play as much faction warfare, so basically none at all. So I would like to know your thoughts on that if you're really highly invested in faction warfare. But yeah, hey, if they can fix it, if they can get more people into the game, or can get some old faction play guys coming back because they put the game into a state where they just enjoy playing it in faction play, hey, sure, absolutely fine by me. Another point was that mech pack sales are down, and they were thinking about a general idea to add a base subscription model. A lot of guys will now go on and they will get like this, I don't know, this like crucifix and garlic reflex, like seeing a vampire. A subscription model in itself is neither good nor bad. It's just a monetization model. And there are several ways that you can implement a subscription model. For example, Star Wars The Old Republic, which was a subscription-based game, that then went to a free-to-play system with a in-game shop or subscription model on top of it. So if they have the base game free-to-play, and then you have a subscription model where you get every month, for example, this is just me now throwing out numbers out of my ass, 10 bolt-ons and 2 new colors and pick 5 warhorns and whatnot. Like if there's certain value behind it that you can get every month for having that subscription going, as opposed to other people who have to buy it directly from the shop, sure, I wouldn't mind spending $5 or $10 a month on the game. Absolutely not. If I'm getting hours upon hours of worth out of the game, yeah, sure, they deserve some money. I mean, there is this. There's 2 points I want to talk about here. One point is I have a huge problem with people who play free-to-play games because they're free and never spend a dime, because if you're enjoying the game, give something back to the developers. I mean, these guys don't work for free. You don't work for free. On the other side, also going into this argument is the fact that if the monetized items in the game are desirable enough and good enough that people want to pay for it, it's gonna work itself out, right? So it's not gonna be a problem. that's a different issue. So PGI will have to find the items that people are willing to pay for, and then think about that. For example, I don't know, bolt-ons to me are interesting, but I don't want to spend money on them in a huge amount because they're just so expensive. But if it was packaged in a subscription fee, for example, that is optional, and you get a good deal out of it, maybe. I don't know. I'm just shooting out ideas here, guys. It's not very coherent. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let's jump into MechCon and the World Championships. Russ said that the on-site World Championship actually cost PGI 100 grand to do that. 100 grand for and this is nothing against all you competitive players out there. This is just speaking in relation to other esports tournaments. For a very, very small niche tournament, 100 grand. Me personally, I wouldn't say that's a good investment of PGI's money. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Going to an online tournament and running it with live streams would be nice. Running it in a way where you can see actually first-person action as opposed to just this top-down view would be even better for me because it has a lot more entertainment and teaching value than just seeing a few little tiny mechs walk around on a camera. Honestly, that's not appealing to me. That's not that. I want to see the players themselves play from a first-person perspective. I want to see what they see. I want to see what they aim. I want to see how they shoot. I don't want to just see the top-down perspective. That doesn't give me anything. I want to see their loadouts. I want to see what kind of specific skills they go for. I want to see like what are they tweaking to get the specific stuff out of it. And if I can't see that, if the only thing I see is just a top-down view, then I'll pass. That simple. So yeah, potentially having the championship offline then. Of course, that brings up a few issues with it. Most importantly, time zone scheduling, ping differences and whatnot. But again, I don't think the player base is huge enough to warrant an on-site championship where PGI pays for everything. I don't think it's a good investment of their money. MechCon is booked. That is good. Okay. I won't be going there most likely because it's just a huge trip over to Vancouver, right? Just for a small con. Well, maybe. I don't know. Never say never, right? I've been to Vancouver quite a few times. MW5. MW5 is the main thing where a lot of PGI's success or downfall rides on. If it goes really well, and apparently the pre-orders have done very, very well, then we can expect a lot of good things to come for MW5, and we can also expect some of these resources potentially going back into MWO or into making a quote-unquote MWO2 or MWO-like multiplayer for MW5. We don't know. All I can say is, and I hope some PGI employees are watching this, I hope you guys deliver the best product possible. I hope it's a success, because without you guys, there would not be an MW5, there would not be a Mechwarrior Online, and we wouldn't have our favorite big stumpy robots to play with. And yes, Harebrained Schemes with Battletech did a really, really good job, but it's not first-person big stumpy robots. It's strategy. It's also great, but it's a different flavor. But if you're looking for first-person big stumpy robots, there is MWO, and now MW5 to look forward to. So my personal hope is that it is going to be a smashing success. Fingers crossed, right? So I wish PGI all the best there. Because if PGI loses, guys, and let me make this very clear, my personal opinion, PGI loses, we all lose. Unless Microsoft gives the license magically to some AAA developer and they say, yeah, you know what? Battletech, that's a powerful license. We've got all these like hundreds of thousands of players that are just yearning for a new game, and let's make something really cool here. It hasn't happened for over 10 years, guys. So I don't think the chances on that are very high. So again, my hope is that MW5 will be very successful, that we'll all love it, and that will lead to more good things in the whole Battletech and Mechwarrior universe. Also, guys, one point that I think PGI really has to focus on is more marketing and better marketing. I feel that they haven't really done a good job marketing MW5 or MWO outside of the MWO community. I haven't seen any huge pushes. I haven't seen any influencer marketing campaigns with YouTubers and whatnot. And I don't care if they don't have the resources or not. You could be the biggest hen out there and lay a golden egg. If you don't go bark, 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 nobody will notice. So I hope they will ramp up their marketing budget, and I hope they will also ramp up their marketing for MW5 through different channels, and hopefully that will help them as well. And I'm just saying, there's so many MWO streamers and YouTubers out there. Why not just reach out to them? Like, I mean, I don't think that you will see much resistance there. In fact, if you can get them in on the bandwagon of promoting the game, that will be the first and easiest step, in my opinion, to get started. But that's just my point of view. Again, I don't have all the details, I don't have the insights, so I can just give you a few thoughts of my own. Okay, I've talked quite a bit now, I think, and I hope I could give you guys some insights, some of my thought patterns. I will also link the First Circuit podcast. Unfortunately, I couldn't be part of it today, but Spider, Old Bob, and Lash were talking about exactly this. They have I'm thinking they might have a few more points of criticism than I have. They might be able to go into details a lot more. I just wanted to give you guys a general update, a general idea of what is currently going on. And of course, my plans for the future, well, still German mechgineering, that's for sure. But I will also start looking into into other games, as I've already done with BattleTech, with Anno 1800, other games that you guys might like to see, and using them as additional content that you might want to see when you like my kind of content delivery. So that is basically everything from me for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like, share with your friends, and I shall see you soon with some more German mechgineering. This has been TTB. Have a great day. Take care.